When Led Zeppelin stormed the scene in 1968, they didn't just play rock and roll, they redefined it, dragging it into a new, heavier era. And while every member was a certified virtuoso, their raw, earth-shaking power came from one place, the back of the stage. Ask anyone in the band where that powerful sound came from, and the answer was always the same. John Bonzo Bonham. He wasn't just a timekeeper, he was the very bedrock the band built its empire upon. He was arguably the most powerful and inventive drummer in rock history. Let's break down the technical and musical elements that cemented his legacy and made him a drumming god. The first thing that grabs your attention when Bonham plays is the sound of the bass drum. Forget the standard, unrelenting boom-bap of early rock. Bonham had swagger, influence, and technique to spare. Listen to the opening of Good Times, Bad Times, the very first track on their debut album. Instead of just playing a clean, straight beat, Bonham accents it with lightning-fast triplets on his bass drum. A triplet is a grouping of 3 notes played within the length usually assigned to 1, and it injects an infectious, spicy rhythm into the groove. This technique, which he borrowed heavily from jazz masters like Gene Krupa and Buddy Rich, added a rhythmic complexity and flair that was completely foreign to rock music at the time. This led to his signature laid-back, syncopated groove. While other drummers were often rushing or playing on top of the beat, Bonham felt slightly behind it. He would play around with the bass drum, throwing in little accents and pushing the pulse to create a loose, swaggering feel. This style, which he honed by listening to funk pioneers, most notably James Brown, gave the entire band time to breathe and created that distinctive, intoxicating, heavy swing you hear in songs like Heartbreaker. Locking onto the riff, Bonham's technical genius wasn't just about what he played, but who he played with and how he chose to interact. Many great rock drummers instinctively lock onto the bass guitar line to create a stable foundation. Bonzo, however, often chose to lock his drums onto Jimmy Page's guitar riff. As one of Led Zeppelin's engineers noted, Bonham would take the guitar riff and immediately make it his own drum part, prioritizing that relationship over just staying glued to the bass player. This musical decision is key to understanding the band's power. It's what gave Zeppelin's sound that visceral, muscular unity. The drums aren't just background rhythm, they are aggressively part of the main melodic statement. You can hear this powerful alliance clearly in the rhythmic attack of Immigrant Song, where his drums hammer down exactly where the riff lands. Bonham was the unwavering rock against which the rest of the band could create incredible, exhilarating musical tension. For all his flair, his role as a steady anchor was crucial when the band experimented with complex time signatures and phrasing. Take the iconic song, Kashmir. Bonham is holding a consistent, unshakable 4/4 time signature, but the string section and guitar are playing in a 3/4 feel. They only sync up perfectly once every 12 beats. Bonham had to be absolutely relentless and rigid in his count, or the entire polymetered structure of the song would simply collapse. He was the anchor that allowed the rest of the band to explore these complex layers. This commitment to the groove is pushed to its limits in Black Dog. The track is an acrobatic exercise in shifting time signatures. In the pre-chorus, the guitar and bass are playing a tricky pattern that effectively moves by half a beat with each repetition, landing them in 9/8 time over Bonham's straight 4/4. The parts never seem to match up on the same beat, creating a dizzying, slightly out-of-sync feel known as the stomp groove. With a less steady, less confident drummer, this musical breakdown would sound like total chaos. With Bonham, it sounds like deliberate, complex, and unstoppable power.
Like with a hatchet.
The final, most complex, and arguably most incredible example of his unique skill comes in the song, Fool in the Rain. This track demonstrates Bonham's full arsenal of techniques rolled into one masterful beat. The rhythm is fundamentally polyrhythmic, featuring two different rhythms layered on top of each other. On the hi-hat, he's playing steady, fast triplets, which are supported by barely audible ghost notes, lightly tapped notes on the snare drum. This creates a shimmering forward momentum. Underneath that, he's playing a heavy swung halftime shuffle on the bass and snare. And to complete the rhythmic puzzle, the piano and guitar lines are playing in a 12/8 feel. It is a syncopated, layered miracle, a whole percussion section condensed into one man's four limbs. How do the other giants of drumming view Bonham? He remains the benchmark, but his approach sparked interesting debate among his peers. Neil Peart of Rush, often cited as the only drummer who rivals Bonham on greatest of all time lists, openly credited Bonham as a huge influence. Peart said he emulated Bonham's big foot triplets when he was starting out, incorporating that technique into his own double bass patterns. Though their styles diverged, Peart becoming known for clinical precision and Bonham for raw feel, Peart acknowledged Bonham's genius in revolutionizing the power and scope of rock drumming. Chad Smith of the Red Hot Chili Peppers is equally emphatic. To me, hands down, John Bonham was the best rock drummer ever. This is a common sentiment among drummers who value groove and feel, as Smith clearly appreciated Bonham's distinct, identifiable sound. Ringo Starr and John Bonham had a friendly relationship, often hanging out, with Ringo recalling that Bonham was a beautiful, emotional, loving, kind human being. However, when discussing their contrasting drumming styles, Ringo expressed a preference for his own philosophy of supporting the song over long solos. He once stated directly, "John Bonham's incredible solos didn't knock me out." I don't feel you need solos. Ringo also shared a humorous anecdote about Bonham's powerful drumming, recalling a time when he and Charlie Watts had to physically hold down a loose bass drum for Bonham because he was hitting it so hard that it kept hopping away from him. Interestingly, Stuart Copeland of The Police admitted that he didn't initially get Bonham or Keith Moon in their early days, preferring the style of drummers like Mitch Mitchell. However, Copeland later came to recognize his monumental contribution, specifically marveling at his sound. How did he get that monstrous sound? It's like he is playing on a mountain. The earth shakes when he hits those tom-toms. This encapsulates the awe Bonham inspired, even among those who didn't share his style. In essence, Bonham defined the possibilities of volume, texture, and swing in hard rock, becoming the non-negotiable standard for power and rhythmic ingenuity that every subsequent rock drummer has had to reckon with. John Bonham was more than just a powerful rock drummer, he was a musical architect. He could swing like a jazz great, groove like a funk master, and deliver the thunder of a rock legend, all with a complexity and consistency that remains unrivaled. His steady, powerful, and creative foundation allowed Led Zeppelin to transcend genres and become the definitive rock band of their era. His influence echoes in every heavy band that followed. He remains the standard by which all other rock drummers are measured.
Diane Keaton's ex Al Pacino's biggest regret in their years-long on-and-off relationship was a big one, according to a friend of the actor. In the wake of Keaton's death at 79 on Saturday, October 11, details about Keaton and Pacino's romance that spanned from 1974 to 1990 are being examined in a new light. They met on the set of The Godfather in 1972. A friend of Pacino, 85, opened up to the Daily Mail about the actor's feelings toward Keaton in the years since they broke up for good. Looking back, Al admits the love of his life was Diane, who he's always called an amazing woman, they told the outlet. I know he will forever regret he didn't make his move when he had the chance. The unnamed source continued. For years after he and Diane split, Al used to say, if it's meant to be, it's never too late for a do-over. But sadly, now it is. Before Keaton's death, she and Pacino lived in Beverly Hills. Only a few miles from each other for years, however, they never spoke, the friend told the Daily Mail. They explained, I once asked him why and he told me, there's no need to talk with each other. We said everything that needed to be said at the time. In 2017, Keaton opened up about her and Pacino's relationship during an interview with The Times. I didn't even want him to propose, the Something's Gotta Give actress said about their romance. I just thought maybe he would marry me eventually. I thought, don't even propose. Let's just do it. She added, but that never happened, and that is a blessing for both of us. It would have been a nightmare for him. We're very eccentric. He needed a woman that was going to take care of him. I needed a man who would take care of me. In 2022, Keaton discussed why she never married during an interview with Parade. Our lives are all different and we can do what we want, she explained. We don't have to be perfect and be married. At 50, the father of the bride star decided to adopt a child as a single woman. "I wish I had found someone that I was with to be that person," she told Parade. "But my relationships didn't work out, and that's okay. So I thought, now I am this age, and I could adopt a child." In 1996, Keaton adopted her daughter, Dexter Keaton, and in 2001 she adopted her son, Duke Keaton. "I wish I had found someone that I was with to be that person," Keaton said, explained. "But my relationships didn't work out, and that's okay, so I thought, now I am this age, and I could adopt a child." In addition to Pacino, the actress famously dated fellow actors Woody Allen and Warren Beatty.